The tall, gangly thing?
Hello and welcome. Today I'm joined by the OCE representative going to be playing at TFT Worlds this October. You may not recognize him with his shirt on, but I promise it's the same player. It's Escha. Escha, how you doing?
Hey Gangly, I'm doing pretty good.
So for anyone who may not be super familiar with who you are, why don't we just start by having you tell me a little bit about yourself?
So currently I am a Twitch streamer and I mainly stream Teamfight Tactics, but in the time that I'm not streaming Teamfight Tactics, I am a variety streamer, playing other games or doing IRL, and I am currently residing in Australia, Sydney.
Now, you obviously were the winner of the regional finals for OCE, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. But as you mentioned just now, you're a full-time streamer. I'd love to hear a little bit about what your journey to becoming a full-time streamer has looked like.
Well, I've been streaming for about 1.5 years now, and it all started with me hitting rank 1 in OCE. And my friends were like, oh, wow, you should give streaming a shot. Like, you'd be really funny, and I think it'd be really fun to watch. So it just slowly grew with my friends, like spreading my stream around with words. And then I think around in set 3, I created a comp name, and it was called... the name's a bit inappropriate, but it was called the Bang Bros, and that comp grew really, really popular amongst the TFT community. And as a result of that, my stream started to grow a lot, thanks to the streamers finding about who I was. And I got lots of raids from like Skara, Karum, Soju, Keane. And then as I grew, I participated in the NAOC finals in set 3. But I placed really badly. And then that gave me motivation to play better in set 4 and 5. But competitive wasn't really viable, in my opinion, in set 4 because of the mechanic. I didn't really like it at all, so I didn't try that hard. And then in set 5, obviously the new mechanic came out of shadow items, and I did not have a great time with it. And then I think when it came to 5.5, I actually started to play the game properly. And then my stream started to grow more and more due to just, I think mainly like a lot of the bigger streamers quitting, and then their viewers went somewhere else. And then throughout like streaming, like my streaming career, I have like this, I have thought about quitting many times due to like, obviously like financial issues as a streamer. I wasn't really seeing much growth. So I was thinking about going back to uni, but thanks to my friends motivating me to keep streaming, here I am now streaming consistently. And the growth has been amazing since I've won the OCE regional finals.
Yeah, I believe it. And talking about you winning the regional finals, I mean, it really came down to that last game where you outplaced the two other players who were vying for that number 1 spot. Could you just talk a little bit in detail about what that moment was like when it clicked and you realized that you actually won?
So the moment I won, I didn't really believe it because I went into the tournament thinking, I made it to the last day, might as well play it out. I'm most likely not going to make it because it's only 1 slot out of 8 players. And I didn't feel that comfortable going into the tourney. I did not feel like one of the favorites to win, as I feel like a lot of other people thought. And I was just like, I'll play for the money. If I win, then that's just like a dream come true. But it honestly still hasn't clicked that I've actually won and I'm going to Worlds. But I'm really, really excited.
I mean, you have this tendency of whenever your back's against the wall, you tend to just do whatever it takes to actually get to that next step. I mean, in mid-set finale, you were the final placing to actually qualify to regional finals. This time you win by 1 point to actually overcome the rest of the competition and take that spot in finals. What is it about you as a player that you actually feel gives you an edge above the rest of the competition?
Well, as a player, I think that my playstyle is very first or eighth. So if like my back's against the wall, if I need to like pull out a first, I feel like I can clutch it out like quite often. And like if it doesn't work, then it's just eighth. But I feel like I tend to play better under pressure rather than if I'm in like a good spot. I tend to get complacent and I think I tend to throw a lot. So I think it's I have that edge where if it's really, really close, I just perform better rather than me having a huge lead over everyone and just playing consistently.
Well, the good news for you is that TFT World's coming up. The pressure will definitely be on. I mean, just talking about regional pride, you're going to be representing OCE. I mean, what does it mean to you to actually represent your entire region?
Well, representing my entire region actually does mean a lot because I really want to put OC on the map because I feel like OC is one of the more undermined regions, especially in the pro gaming scene. Seeing like with League of Legends, most of the players are like moving to NA or like China, and I just want to like show the world that OC is a region, um, and this would be like the first time like in TFT where I have the opportunity to put myself on against the world and just like show that OC is not just a weak region or a meme region, and yeah, I want to do my best to give OC extra slots next set if possible.
Obviously, you have from now till then to prepare. What's your preparation actually going to be looking like for Worlds?
I'm gonna be VOD reviewing all the players that have made it to Worlds. I'll probably be watching all their games, and it's probably just gonna be lots of scrims with the players. I'm not sure who's gonna set those up, but besides that, it's probably just gonna be NA solo queue until those scrims get set up.
I did an interview with Robinsongz, the winner for NA recently, and he had a comment about his preparation for regionals where he just said that in order to perform well in TFT, you have to spam a ton of games because there are situations that only come up one in 100 games, one in every 100 games. Whereas an interview I had done a couple weeks before with Salvi talked about he actually spends more time thinking about the game and watching other people play the game rather than playing. Where do you feel you fall kind of on that spectrum?
I fall more on like Robin's side because I'm more of an instinctual player than more than like a calculated player. I just play by instinct, and I think prepping those grinding those games out, just automatically like when you see a certain situation, you know exactly what to do and not panic. Whereas if I try to like study someone else's play and like copy that, I don't really play my own game, and I try like forcing their ways, and I think that the more games you play, the more knowledge you have of every single comp, and that's like what my playstyle's like. I like to pivot a lot, so if I don't see the units I need on a certain roll down, then I know automatically. Or if I hit this unit, I've played this game before. I've played this comp before. I can just pivot to this, and yeah, I think that's more important to me.
Definitely. Now, going into Worlds, obviously we're going to be seeing players from all over the world. Every region that has a spot qualified, they're all going to be coming together. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the power rankings of the different regions and where you think OCE falls in that.
Well, personally, the only regions that I've actually played or like watched are OCE, obviously. I've watched a bit of Japan. I've watched some South Korea. I watched the regionals, and I watched the North American regionals as well, and watched a bit of Europe, but I'm not too sure like their power. But I know they're a very strong region. And China, I have no clue. I don't know what their players are like, but if I had to rank them, from the regions that I really know about, it would probably be North America. I think they're the strongest region going into this tournament after looking at their three representatives, because I personally know them, and I think they're really, really strong players. Probably second, I would put Europe, just because I've seen the competitiveness of their ladder for them to actually have gotten into this tournament, because they were given very short time and for their snapshots to qualify for this tournament, and I think that really like selected the best players from Europe. And for third, I'll probably put China, because I actually did watch the Asian Games where Japan, South Korea, and China all participated. And I think China did really, really well out of those three regions. Although I don't really know the players that are representing them at Worlds. Then I would probably put I'd put South Korea after China. And then I'd put OCE right after South Korea. Okay. Oh, not last. I think OCE is actually a very strong region. It's just that no one really knows much about the top players in the region, because no one really streams, or no one like puts themselves out there. So no one really knows the strength of OCE, because no one even boot camps on our server, so they don't really know. But as someone who's played in NA and NA and OCE, I think that the top players in OCE are very, very strong. And for the last three regions, I'll probably just put Japan, Latin America, and then Brazil.
Yeah, I think it's all pretty fair. I mean, last Worlds we did see Razza from OCE, and I'm forgetting the name. The name is slipping me. The Japanese representative both make top 8 at Worlds. So I mean, we've definitely seen in the past that these minor regions, developing regions, whatever you want to call them, can definitely put up a fight. Something I actually did want to ask you is about Southeast Asia. I'm not sure exactly how familiar you are with the Southeast Asian players, but obviously they're one of the regions that are not going to be represented at Worlds. How familiar are you with those players, and do you feel like the quality of player base there actually does deserve them a spot?
So most of these C players, they play on our server, on OCE, because their server isn't very populated, and they know that there's no point playing on their region because they can't even qualify for a spot at Worlds. But there has been a player called Jose Paulo. He is one of OCE's top ranked players. Every season, he's always holding rank 1 for multiple patches. And I feel like there are a few players from C that are extremely, really strong. And I feel like they do at least deserve one slot. Because like on the average, their top players, they can compete against OC's top players really, really easily. And I think they're really, really great players, and I think they deserve a slot.
Now, obviously, with all these players, I know you said you're familiar with the NA players like on a personal level, but are there certain players that you're actually just like excited to play against going into Worlds, or maybe even players that you're a little nervous to play against going into Worlds?
Well, I know Robinsongz, the player that destroyed the NA regional finals. He has been talking smack a lot about me, saying that Escha's going 8th, OC's the worst region. I know it's just banter, but I know I'm gonna practice a lot, and I'm gonna smack him at Worlds, and I'm gonna put him in a nursing home.
Oh shoot!
He needs to retire. He's getting old, and I know Spencer. I'm friends with him. He's a really, really good player as well. And Milk is probably one of my favorites to win the entire tournament. Wow.
Yeah, high praise coming from a player who has shown time and time again that you've been able to make it happen, make it work. So it sounds like you're a big fan of the NA players. As far as the other regions, I know you said you're not super familiar. Are there any other players from like Europe, LATAM, Brazil, Japan that you're excited to go up against?
I did look at the Korean lineup, and I have a friend. His name's Hyunta, and he is Korean, but he lives in Turkey, but plays on the NA server. So he's like he's like everywhere. He's in EU, he's in Korea, he's in NA, and he has told me that out of the players he's seen, the Korean lineup is looking really, really strong. So I'm kind of scared of those guys.
Yep, we'll have to see how it all plays out. Now, you've been playing TFT for quite a while, I believe since set 2. What is it about the game that keeps bringing you back?
Well, Teamfight Tactics, the reason why I started the game was I used to play League of Legends a lot, and I kind of hit a wall where I was like lurking between high diamond, low masters, and the game just really tilted me so much that I just did not want to play anymore. It would just make me really, really sad, really angry. So, uh, when they released the game, Teamfight Tactics, in set one, um, we just played it for fun, like to take a break from League, and the game was like it was okay. It wasn't really like my type of game, um, but I gave it a few tries, and then I came back in set two, and then I started playing more and more and more. I got really addicted, and that's about when I quit League just to play Teamfight Tactics. And then in season three, I started streaming. I started streaming Teamfight Tactics after hitting rank one, and the game is just really like well designed, and I think it's really really fun with the new patches that come out every 2 weeks. And like I like the mid sets a lot when they like swap out the champion so it doesn't get boring. And most importantly, I feel like the community is what brings me back. The Teamfight Tactics community is really really nice. They're really funny. Um, like we all watch different streamers and we're all like friends. Like if I go into a Twitch chat, I can see like some of my friends, and I feel like compared to other communities on Twitch, they're really really wholesome and they're really nice to each other, and I keep making more and more friends every set. I get closer to other streamers, other Teamfight Tactics players, and yeah, that's probably the main reason why I keep coming back to this game every set.
Yeah, that's a sentiment I know I share as well. There's something about this community that, obviously you have your backseaters in Twitch chat, you have your people who just maybe want to ruin your day. But for the most part, I would say the people who are invested in the community really care about the game and really care about each other. And that's hard to find in a lot of other games. So what would you say long term? What are your plans with TFT?
My long terms with TFT. Well, my goals are to obviously expand OCE as a region, and I want them to become like a powerhouse within the TFT community. Obviously, at Worlds, I want OCE to get more slots if possible, because I think the player base is almost equal to the North American player base, yet they're getting way more slots, and I just really want OCE to grow as one of the biggest streamers within the region, and I hope that I can keep playing until God knows how many sets there'll be. Set 10, set 15. I just want TFT to, last a really, really long time, because I don't really see myself quitting this game for a long time.
Now, you're talking about putting people on the map. If you're a player like me, I don't always get to watch every region, and I actually didn't really get a chance to watch the OCE regionals. So, if you were to tell a player like me, who are the players in OCE to look out for? 3 other players, the hidden bosses of OCE that maybe don't get as much airtime as these big NA streamers, but definitely are up to par in terms of skill level.
If I had 3 players to tell you, I'd say Choonga. He is an extremely strong player. He is always consistently the top of the ladder board. He actually performed really really well at this year's OCE finals, but I think he got unlucky with I think he had like a what is it? He DC'd in the tournament at 6-1.
Oh wow!
And on the final game, yeah, he DC'd for 1 round, and I feel like that might have costed him the entire tournament. But besides that, he played really, really well. And if there are 2 more players, the other player would be Angora. He doesn't really like stream much or put himself out there, but I feel like a lot of the players on the ladder know that he's a really, really strong player, because we've seen him stream during a 4v4 tournament between C and OCE, and he played out of his mind. He hard carried, and I think he's a really, really strong player, and I'm going to be seeing him in future sets at the top every now and then. And for my 3rd player, I think he doesn't really stream. Not many people know about him, but his name is Chubby Bunny. I did actually play with him in the 4v4 tournament between OC and C, and I've seen the way he plays, and he's very, very consistent, and I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future sets coming up and coming.
Oh, there you have it. That's 3 players. If you don't already know much about OCE, 3 players to look up. Check out their LOL chess. If they do stream, check them out. If they don't, hopefully they will in the future. And hopefully we'll just see them in more competition later on. But Escha, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. Before we go, is there anything you'd want to shout out?
I'd like to shout out all the people that have helped me with VOD reviews after the tournaments, especially people from my stream. Those players that I actually mentioned before, they actually all did help me with VOD reviews. Although, you know, I'm the one that's going to Worlds and unfortunately they didn't make it. I'm really, really happy that they're willing to give me their knowledge and help OC win. I'd also like to shout out my chat from Twitch. They're like my family. I see them every day. They're always like supporting me, and I really, really appreciate them a lot. And I'd like to shout out my dog, who's always supporting me. IRL, she's always, you know, watching the stream from my bed. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, Escha, thank you again for sitting down with me. For everyone watching, thank you guys for watching all the way through this. For more TFT coverage and content, make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.